What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bubba Cast, the only podcast dedicated to the in-ring career of Ray Traylor, a.k.a. Big Bubba Rogers, a.k.a. the Big Boss Man. I am your co-host, Zerpy, and joining me, as always, is Lacy Traylor.
What's up, Bubba?
What's up? Or should I call you Boss Lady?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
She is the boss lady, the reason we are here, the daughter of the Big Boss Man.
And I am bossy, so it works.
Yep. She demanded this podcast happen. She's like, you!
and people are loving your impressions.
Oh, yeah.
Your impersonations.
Apparently people are loving that. So good, because I got a few for this here tonight, and they're not good. They're not good. But we are, as I mentioned on the last episode, it's time to go back into the Attitude Era. Which is my favorite era of wrestling. The Monday Night Wars.
So glad that we are.
So I love this stuff. This was shortly after Big Boss Man returned to the WWF. We're talking about WWF Raw, November 30th, 1998. And according to Lacy here, this episode is on Netflix.
It's
so
in the
if you
vault.
have Netflix, you can find it there.
The Raw vault.
So the show opens with a recap of the feud between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. The Undertaker attacked Stone Cold, striking him in the head with a shovel. Then days later, after competing in a match at a house show, Stone Cold collapsed. We see some footage of that. Austin was taken to the hospital to get checked out and was attacked by The Undertaker and Paul Bearer at the hospital. They dragged Austin out of the hospital. Apparently no one was there to see this or stop it.
Yeah.
They dragged him out of the hospital and took him to a funeral home and tried to embalm him.
Embalm me alive.
Luckily, Kane showed up just in time and attacked The Undertaker, which allowed Stone Cold to escape.
Thank goodness.
This is all a build towards their Buried Alive match at the upcoming pay-per-view, In Your House, Rock Bottom.
What a title.
Yeah.
For a pay-per-view. Is this the only one that we got?
Yeah, this is the only Rock Bottom. Because In Your House was like, they used to just be called In Your House. They were like just the generic pay-per-views.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay.
And then they started giving them names. Like they had like a Judgment, I think, was Judgment Day one of them? Bad Blood, I think, was one.
Okay.
They had a DX one specifically. So sometimes they were specific characters that they were kind of modeled after. Obviously, this one was The Rock, who was the WWF champion at the time.
Our hero.
Also, this is like the corporation is just kind of coming together right now. So we're seeing a lot of the corporation throughout this. Obviously, Big Boss Man is part of the corporation. And then they're kind of trying to get all the titles over to the corporation. So we'll see their plan kind of come together and then kind of fall apart here tonight. So the show starts and Jim Ross welcomes us into Raw. We are live at a sold-out Baltimore arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Jim Ross is joined, as always, by Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. The Headbangers music hits, and the Headbangers make their way out to the ring with the Insane Clown Posse, Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Did you know that ICP was in WWF at some point?
I mean, I think so. I knew they had to be wrestling fans.
Later. Yeah, they have their own
I don't know if they did theme music for people or what.
They did, actually. So last week, ICP turned on their friends, the Oddities, which is really awkward because they sing their theme music. So now what are they going to come out to? So we see a clip from last week where ICP turned on the Oddities and then the Headbangers cut Luna Vachon's hair. Poor Luna.
Aw, Luna.
She was just treated so poorly there. Camera cuts back to backstage and Steve Austin is walking into the building with a shovel in hand. Yeah. And he's walking directly to the ring. Austin marches right to the ring and immediately hits Violent J, Thrasher, and Mosh with stunners. I guess Shaggy 2 Dope didn't want to take a bump tonight, so he gets out scot-free. Austin, after clearing the ring, grabs a mic, and JR just goes, "Feel the magic of this man."
Yeah, that didn't take long.
Just feel the magic. King, do you feel it?
Feel the magic of this man.
Austin says, "Now that I got everybody's attention, the little calendar on my watch says Buried Alive is 13 days away. But Stone Cold ain't gonna wait that long. Before the night's over, Undertaker's going to be wearing this damn shovel upside his head. And the bottom line is because Stone Cold said so."
The shovel is a brand new shovel. It's a nice looking shovel.
He just bought it
on
his
he
way
was
to the show.
Very excited to use this shovel.
Austin's music hits and he swings the shovel at the ropes, gets a little practice in. JR says, As we said, Undertaker and Austin are both here tonight, and that means anything can happen when they're both under one roof, and things can explode anytime. Jerry the King Lawler says, not only are we going to have that, but we're going to have a hardcore championship match tonight. Not just any kind of hardcore championship match. It's a ladder match. And Mankind is going to have to defend his title against Big Boss Man. Jarrett says, plus the corporate champion, The Rock, will go one-on-one with the leader of the Job Squad, Al Snow. Big opportunities for Al Snow against The Rock tonight. We see footage of Mark Henry, who's getting ready with D'Lo Brown backstage. China has reluctantly agreed to go on a date with Mark Henry, and tonight is the night. So many plots going on here
so
tonight.
Many.
We are skipping around to so many different things. There's this whole B plot of a date between Mark Henry and China, and we don't really see like the end of the date.
No.
It ends at one point, but we don't see like did China actually come around and enjoy your time? We don't know. We'll have to tune in next week.
Guess we'll have to.
Then we see Stone Cold, who's walking around the halls backstage with a shovel, searching for The Undertaker. First, he shoves a referee who he walks by, asking if he's seen The Undertaker. He hasn't seen him. And then Austin passes by a young Stephanie McMahon before she was an on-screen talent.
That was crazy.
She was just walking there.
Yeah, she's just like very timidly like, I haven't seen him.
Like,
walking away.
You seen The Undertaker? She's like, no. He's like, all right, you let me know.
This is 98. We covered an episode. It was a freaking long episode.
Yeah,
and it was
99.
From 99. Okay, so she must come next year. The following year, make her.
Yeah, she gets involved in the storyline when like the Undertaker and the Ministry kidnaps her.
Yeah.
And,
That's right.
They tie her to the symbol or whatever, and Stone Cold has to come save her.
Another victim of the Undertaker's sacrifice.
Oh, sacrifice. So, she hasn't seen The Undertaker anywhere, so Stone Cold is still searching. But it's time for match number 1. Let's kick the show off with tag team action. It's the New Age Outlaws, who are the current tag team champions, versus the Brood, Edge and Gangrel. So the Outlaws make their entrance, and we see a clip from Sunday Night Heat where Vince, Gerald Briscoe, Shane, and Shane are all trying to recruit the New Age Outlaws to join the corporation. They do not agree to join yet, but they will string them along for the special treatment.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember this for a while because they just kept trying to, warm up to them. Like, come on, we'll give you all this stuff. And I remember them trying to like act very posh, the New Age Outlaws. They'd come out and they'd have like little teacups and with their pinkies out. They're like, we're very fancy.
Oh, yeah. You especially know someone's really fancy when they stick their pinky finger out.
That's how you know that they're high class.
Exactly.
So, of course, New Age Outlaws, they do their whole thing. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the D-Generation X proudly brings you its WWF Tag Team Champions of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. And, of course, passes the mic over to Mr. Ass. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Oh,
you gotta love that. They were a very good entrance. Road Dogg, not a great wrestler, but a great entrance. Great on the mic. So tonight Raw is brought to you by JVC Kaboom Box, Norelco, and Castrol GTX Drive Hard. So this match starts with a double Irish whip to Gangrel by the Outlaws, but Gangrel rebounds and kicks Road Dogg in the gut, and he spits red mist in Billy Gunn's face. So, of course, that's supposed to be blood because he's a vampire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
But on commentary, they never call it blood. They always refer to it as red viscous liquid.
Red viscous liquid. It's wine. I'm just kidding.
And then, of course, Christian is out here with them, even though he's not in the match. He's just there ringside to, provide moral support to his vampire friends. Yeah. And at this point, too, this is when they're still pretending that Edge and Christian are brothers.
Oh,
they are, of course, not related. But they were childhood friends.
They love that angle. Kane and Undertaker brothers.
Yeah, exactly. What's funny though is there's a lot of actual brothers tag team in wrestling. The Hardy Boys were actual brothers. You got the Young Bucks. You've got the Lucha Brothers, which was weird that they went to WWE and then they split them up. So I don't know. They're not.
We still got brothers out there,
but lots of brothers. The Briscoes was another tag team. Both Briscoes teams, the old school Briscoes with Gerald and then Mark and Jay. Anyway, back to the match. Edge hits a head scissor on Road Dogg, and Mr. Ass climbs to the top turnbuckle, but he gets crotched on the top rope by Christian, who was ringside. Edge hits a Hurricane Rana on Road Dogg, and then tries to hit one on Billy Gunn, but Billy reverses it into a power bomb. Members of the corporation now have come out to the stage to watch on. It's Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, Vince, Shane, Ken Shamrock, Big Boss Man, and Sergeant Slaughter. And the crowd starts chanting, "Asshole, asshole."
I was it's like this episode is especially fun because I'm like, wait, he's out there now. He's involved in a lot of...
Dude, he's constantly
he's entangled.
Big Boss Man shows up so much throughout this show.
Just like, what?
Edge and Mr. Ass both try for a running crossbody on each other, but they both go down. Edge crawls to his feet and gets the hot tag to Gangrel. The Outlaws bump and feed for Gangrel. Edge dumps Road Dogg to the outside, and Billy Gunn stuffs Gangrel like he's setting up for a pile driver, but Christian puts a stop to it by running in and hitting Billy Gunn with his own tag team belt, which causes the DQ. Your winners by DQ, the New Age Outlaws. So, Christian was just like, look, I don't care about the titles. I don't even know if the titles were on the line. I don't think they announced if the titles were up for grabs here. I don't recall.
They did.
So I don't know. Christian was just like, whatever, just going to beat him with his own title. But of course, it's Monday Night Raw, so nothing ends in like an actual like definitive victory. Everything is a DQ. You want to see an actual like straight up match, buy the pay-per-view, and then even then it's going to be...
There's going to be at least one DQ.
Yeah, there's going to be fuck finishes, as they call them. Now both teams begin to brawl in the ring, and Shamrock and Bossman run down to give the New Age Outlaws some backup, because of course they want them on their side.
Yeah.
And we cut to backstage where Steve Austin is walking around with his shovel searching for the Undertaker. He checks a walk-in cooler where they keep all the beer kegs. Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to drink all these beers while I look for the Undertaker. Then he checks a walk-in freezer. He takes a step inside. Then suddenly Undertaker and Paul Bearer run up from behind. Paul goes, push him, push him.
Yeah.
Undertaker shoves Austin into the freezer and they lock the door. Paul Bearer says, lock it up. That ought to keep him alive for a while, Austin.
I was like, it's sweet that we get Paul Bearer in this episode.
Percy Pringle. He says, we got some bigger fish to fry. Time for the WWF Rewind, brought to you by Glover on Nintendo 64, which I have running on
from the past.
I got it running on my N64 right now. I've never played Glover, and I was like, let me just put it on my N64. Maybe I'll play it after.
Yeah, give it a shot.
So, so the rewind is that one time that Stone Cold came to the ring with a shovel and hit Violent J, Thrasher, and Mosh with stunners. Remember when that happened? It happened like 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
Quick flashback.
So it's almost time for Mark Henry's date with China. Mark tells D'Lo that he wants him to come along and it'll help him with his confidence. And D'Lo's like, what the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want me to come with you?
Shorter words, absolutely. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, no.
That's embarrassing.
I'm not going to be a third wheel on your date. But it is Christmas time. They're standing in front of a Christmas tree. And so after some begging, D'Lo decides that since it's the Christmas season, he'll do this for his friend. And he agrees to come along on their date. So back at the arena, the Undertaker comes out to cut a promo. The Undertaker grabs the mic and goes, Kane, I know somewhere in the dark recesses of this building that you are here. As my ministry grows ever stronger and my plague of evil over the World Wrestling Federation grows even stronger, there are two things that stand in our way. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin, I'm going to keep you on ice I'm going to keep him on ice until I bury him alive at rock bottom. But tonight, Kane, our battle is joined. So if you have the courage, boy, I want you to come out here, because when this night ends, one of us will face the future and one of us faces eternal darkness.
Does he normally cut promos?
He does, and they're always bad. His entire career has been bad promos from Undertaker.
Okay.
Now, originally, yes, they did put him with originally Brother Love, and then they put him with, obviously, Paul Bearer to do the promo work for him, but he started cutting his own promos for a while.
Okay, like in the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Well, even before that, I think even in like New Generation Era, he was doing that. And plus, he's constantly like fighting with Paul Bearer. Earlier in this year, he was beating up Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
Like, they go back and forth. And Paul was obviously managing like Kane and Mankind and Vader while Undertaker was doing his own thing. But they're back together now, and now they're mad at Kane, apparently. So anyway, just then the lights go out and Kane's music hits. JR says, remember on Sunday Night Heat last night what the Undertaker and Paul Bearer said, that if Kane showed up here tonight on Raw, that they were going to have Kane taken away, and I assume taken away means in a hearse or something. Kane enters the ring and Undertaker just starts throwing punches, but Kane is just absorbing them. He just eats them. Then he starts hitting Undertaker with uppercuts, but Undertaker fights back. He hits Kane with a tombstone and then waves down someone from the back. And Paul Bearer comes out with a bunch of orderlies in white coats from a mental facility, we are to assume.
Yeah.
But Kane is back to his feet and he sends Undertaker over the top rope with a clothesline and escapes through the crowd after taking out a couple of orderlies with uppercuts.
That crowd. I was watching this and I was having flashbacks, like
of just being in the crowd,
of being like a little kid looking up, like from those areas of the crowd. I was like, oh my God. It was like anxiety for a second because it's like that was like the era where they were bringing in like stuff to throw at you. It was just interesting.
We'll have to cover. We'll have to do a couple episodes, like back-to-back episodes of shows that we were in attendance for.
Ooh, yeah.
Like I know you mentioned at one point we will do Royal Rumble 2000 because you were there. Mm-hmm. And I think we should do a Raw from '99 at the Georgia Dome that I was at. I don't know if you were there too, but it was kind of the first time that Raw had come here in a long time because it was WCW territory. Right. Although I looked and your dad was in a match, but I think it like was under a minute. So I'm like, is it worth watching? I think he fought Big Show. I think it was during that feud.
He had a couple of those matches that were real over with quick, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was also just this era where it was like a bunch of just quick matches. We're like, whatever, just move the storyline. We need to get back to this date with Mark Henry in China.
I called my mom on the way here and I'm like, do you remember the match Dad had with McFoley and he won the hardcore belt? Because I was trying to remember if we were actually at this one. Oh yeah. Because it was in Baltimore, because there was I was like super hyper fixated on the American Revolution at this age.
what a strange child.
I was in first grade.
She's like, I'm really into the American
Revolution. And I wanted to see the Liberty Bell.
Okay.
And so we had to make like a trip from Baltimore like to a different airport. We were in Philadelphia driving to Baltimore. I'm not sure if this is the one, but she was like, you have all those boxes of paperwork. Why don't you go look through the paperwork and find it? One from 1999. I was like, Mom, I don't have time to do that today.
Yeah, I ain't got time for this shit. So, of course, back to Mark Henry's date. So Mark has a limo waiting for him and D'Lo outside. Yep. Mark Henry, of course, is dressed in a suit, but D'Lo feels like he's a little underdressed in just his polo shirt. So Mark Henry tells him not to worry. He's already got it taken care of. So he reaches into the limo and he pulls out a blazer for D'Lo. He puts it on and it fits him perfectly.
Great friend.
Then Mark reaches into his breast pocket, hands D'Lo some sunglasses to wear. I should point out that it's nighttime. I don't know why he needs sunglasses. But D'Lo puts it on. He's feeling himself. He likes the way he looks. Then Mark says, it's time for the finishing touches. And he hands D'Lo a chauffeur's hat. And D'Lo goes, what the hell is this? Oh. Mark goes, it's a hat. Come on, man. We got to do this right.
So funny.
D'Lo realizes what's going on now. He's just there to be the chauffeur to drive Mark around. But he still decides to go along with it because he's a good friend.
That's a great friend right there.
He gets into the driver's seat while Mark Henry is just standing there waiting next to the door. And so D'Lo has to get out and then let Mark Henry into the limo, close the door behind him. But they get in and they drive away. Back from commercial break, and Mark is meeting Chyna in the lobby of her hotel now with, he's got a bouquet of flowers that he brought her.
Aww.
And Chyna just goes, let's just get this over with, Mark. Mark tries to help her put on her jacket, and she's just like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
They go to get into the limo, and Chyna just looks at the chauffeur and just goes, D'Lo? And Mark puts his hand over his face and goes, no, that's not D'Lo. Don't you worry about that.
The gaslighting starts immediately.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this is not a good way to start off a first date just by lying to her. That is clearly D'Lo. She works with him. Like, she knows who D'Lo is. So D'Lo looks very annoyed, but he's still a good friend. He goes along with this. Cut back to the arena, and X-Pac is coming out to the ring. Last week, X-Pac got a shot at The Rock's WWF Championship, but when the referee's back was turned, the new commissioner, Shawn Michaels, who was, I think they gave him the title of commissioner that night. Like,
interesting.
Vince McMahon brought him out. So Shawn Michaels hit X-Pac with a chair, thus turning heel and allowing The Rock to get the win and retain the WWF Championship. So it is clear that Shawn Michaels is in the pocket of the corporation as the new commissioner.
No, he's not.
he's part of DX. So X-Pac says, I got a little something I want to say. You know, a lot of people have been coming out asking about the New Age Outlaws. What's up with the New Age Outlaws? Well, if you want to know what's up with the New Age Outlaws, why don't you ask the New Age Outlaws? That's enough about that. You didn't tell us anything. Okay. He's like, I don't know. I don't even talk to my friends.
Yeah.
The real reason I came out here, Shawn Michaels. And Jerry Lawler goes, that's Mr. Commissioner to you. X-Pac says, come on down, boy, because I'm going to beat your ass and I ain't going to use a chair.
Ooh.
So HBK's sexy boy theme plays. I'm just a sexy boy. And Commissioner Michaels comes out wearing a suit. Shawn Michaels says, first of all, X-Pac, kid, because they always call him Kid, because he used to be the 1, 2, 3 Kid. And in the Clique, because do you know who the Clique was? The group backstage, they were friends. It was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, X-Pac.
That makes sense.
Diesel and Razor Ramon.
Okay,
and then Diesel and Razor Ramon left. Yeah, but they were like on screen team. They were just like friends backstage.
Gotcha.
But they've always, all those guys call Sean Waltman Kid. That's just his nickname because he was the 1, 2, 3 Kid, and before that he was the Lightning Kid.
Gotcha.
So anyway, he says, first of all, X-Pac, Kid, in case you didn't hear me last week, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm the new sheriff in town. I'm the new commissioner for the World Wrestling Federation, and if I want any crap out of you, I'd pick it out of your teeth. Now you better remember that I've had chunks of guys bigger than you in my stool. To which X-Pac replies, well then how wide must your butthole be then?
Every time something like that is said, like it makes me so happy because it's like
that's your type of humor.
No, it's like it's unironically. Yes,
Shawn Michaels has some weird lines here. That one,
a lot of butt talk, a lot of ass talk.
Of course, yeah. This is 1998. It's a lot of homophobia and stuff.
Internalized.
So Shawn Michaels says, now nothing would thrill me more, young man, than to hand your ass over to you right now. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not an active wrestler. I'm the commissioner of the World Wrestling Federation. So yeah, he earlier in the year, Shawn Michaels had to retire from wrestling
because he got hurt, right?
Yeah, he was injured. I can't remember if it was the year before, but he was injured in a casket match with the Undertaker, where he took a bump over the side where the casket was and landed on it and like hit his back on it. So really fucked up his back. And then he still fought because he was champion, I guess. And then he lost to Stone Cold at WrestleMania earlier in the year, and that was his last match. Then he was done. They brought him back every now and then as like guest referee or guest commentator, and then a week before they made him now the commissioner.
Okay.
So that's why he can't fight. He is just the commissioner now. So he says, I'm the commissioner of the World Wrestling Federation, and if you so much as look at me the wrong way, I will send your ass down to that money pit in Atlanta so fast it'll make your head spin.
Where's the money pit in Atlanta?
WCW.
Oh.
Which is funny because X-Pac just came from WCW. He was fired.
Oh.
He was 6 over there as part of the NWO.
Okay.
And he showed up the day after WrestleMania. They brought him out. That's when So the day after WrestleMania, that's when so Shawn Michaels lost the world title to Stone Cold, and Triple H came out and he's like, we're going to change DX. Shawn Michaels is out. We're kicking him out because he sucks. And then we're going to invite New Age Outlaws, and then he brings out X-Pac. And so they joined the DX, because DX before was just like China, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H.
Gotcha.
And for a little bit, Rick Rude. Anyway, we're just going. I'm going off on tangent now.
Interesting.
The same thing happened.
No, because I didn't know. Because I'm glad you explained that, because I wasn't following. It's like, okay, DX. Where in the timeline did that start? Is this before that? But no, this is like a little bit later in maybe the evolution of.
Yes, exactly.
Degeneration X.
Degeneration X.
I do love that degenerate shirt though.
It's such a good It's a clever name for a team. And it all came from Bret Hart, who called them degenerates or whatever. And because they're Generation X. So degenerate.
Interesting.
It's clever. It's good.
It's good. That's why it works.
It's so funny that Bret Hart came up with it and he just hated them so much.
Yeah.
So he says, you've got your motor all revved up. Well, guess what? The Heartbreak Kid is going to give you some place to go. Tonight, you will face the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, the Intercontinental Champion, by the way. And it won't be for the Intercontinental Championship. You're going to be defending your European Championship. Now, somebody hit my music. And they start playing the DX theme. And Sean goes, remember that I was DX before DX was cool. And I put down here, is he saying DX wasn't cool until he was kicked out?
Yeah, right.
Because, that's not... Okay. So it seems that the plan from the corporation tonight is to try and collect all of the belts in the WWF. They already have the WWF title. The Rock is holding that. And the Intercontinental title. Ken Shamrock has that. Big Boss Man has a shot at the Hardcore title tonight. Ken Shamrock now has a shot at the European title. And instead of them trying to win the tag titles from the New Age Outlaws, they're just trying to win over the New Age Outlaws. So smart thinking by the corporation. So back to the date. The limo pulls up outside the restaurant. They get out of the limo. Mark hands China the flowers, but he left the price tag on them, and China just goes, $1.99, Mark.
Really?
That's cheap for some flowers. Jeez.
Yeah.
For
what? This is the 90s.
Holy shit. Back to the arena, and we see the door to the freezer that Stone Cold was locked in is now open, and Stone Cold is gone. JR goes, wait a minute. Where's Austin? He's escaped. Oh, this means trouble. Uh-oh. Where is he? It's time for match number 2, Goldust versus Jeff Jarrett.
I love this era Goldust. He was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I don't know if that was because of Terry.
Yeah, maybe.
Or this, but this is such a fun.
I'm just happy that he's back to being Goldust here, because a chunk of 1998, he wasn't Goldust. He started just being Dustin for a little while, and he's like, I don't want to do the Goldust gimmick. I hate it, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing else would get over, so he just went back to being Goldust. It's like, all right, I get it. No one wants to see Dustin.
It's an iconic character.
He was really good at playing it, too.
I think that's like, once you're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You do something good enough, they're going to keep asking you to do it. You purposely do it really bad, and they'll never ask you to do it again.
That's called weaponized incompetence.
Exactly. So we see a clip from 3 weeks ago where Jeff Jarrett hit Goldust with the guitar after their match. So then Goldust found Jarrett backstage and beat the shit out of him. Jarrett says, folks, we're joined ringside by a man who says that he is retired, Owen Hart.
Oh my gosh.
Owen Hart at this time was claiming he's
retired not the
wrestling,
Blue Blazer.
He's not the Blue Blazer.
While he's wearing that blue.
And Blue Blazer keeps showing up. And then he'll do this thing where it's clearly Owen Hart as a Blue Blazer.
Yeah.
But then he'll be out there, and then the Blue Blazer, someone else comes out as a Blue Blazer. Like, oh, see, it's not him. It's got to be someone else. So Owen goes, I don't like your allegations and the tone in your voice that says I'm retired. I am retired. I'm enjoying retirement.
Yeah.
But I still like to come and see my friends. So, because he's good friends with Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett says, so you're not the Blue Blazer? You've never been the Blue Blazer, and you're never gonna be the Blue Blazer? Owen goes, absolutely not. Jeff Jarrett comes out with Deborah McMichael, and King apologizes to Owen for ever thinking that he was the Blue Blazer. That's why JR won't apologize as well. JR goes, I'm not gonna apologize for nothing. I still think Owen Hart is the Blue Blazer. He's like, you sons of bitches. Owen says he'd also like to know who the Blue Blazer is, but it's not him, and he wishes they'd let him enjoy his retirement.
Damn, at his ripe age of 33 or whatever he is, because he's so young in this. I'm like, okay, they really like play into the retirement bit like so much.
Yeah,
in
he's
this
not old enough to be retired.
But
it is wrestling. So
it
some
is
people
wrestling.
do retire young because of injuries.
Very true.
But Owen says, I still miss this business. I get goosebumps when I sit here and watch it, thinking how I used to do it myself.
Like, you can just tell this guy's hilarious.
So oh, man. That's what everyone says about Owen Hart. He was very funny. Owen says he's been healing, feeling remorseful for what he did in his past. Jarrett goes, yeah, you look remorseful. Like real sarcastic. King says, Owen, I want to go ahead and apologize for JR's words right here, right now. He's such a cynic. Haven't you ever retired, JR? JR goes, not on purpose. Goldust hits the curtain call on Jarrett and covers him for the pin, but Deborah reaches in and pulls Jarrett's foot onto the rope to force the rope break.
That was some good camera work, too, because you didn't see it until...
Exactly, yeah. She was right in position. Everything it worked out great. Goldust sets up Jarrett in the corner for the Shattered Dreams, where he just kicks him in the nuts. But Deborah gets in the ring and stands between them. And Owen's like, uh-oh, you better not hit the woman.
Right.
So Owen gets up from the commentary table and runs in and attacks Goldust from behind. Then someone dressed as the Blue Blazer comes out.
Oh my gosh, I wonder who it could be.
And at first, Owen is happy to see him. He's like, woo! He throws his arms up. But then the Blue Blazer attacks Owen. And he takes his mask off, and to reveal, it's Steve Blackman. It's Lacy's favorite. And it takes 4 referees to pull Blackman off Owen.
He was really...
He's a lethal weapon.
Right?
And you can't stop him.
Wait, is this another DQ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a winner by DQ, Goldust. Of course. There's no actual finishes in this night, in this Raw. So we get a split screen of both Stone Cold Steve Austin on one side and the Undertaker and Paul Bearer on the other side with the orderlies backstage. They're looking for Kane and Austin is looking for Taker. But it's time for match number 3, the reason we're here tonight. Big Boss Man versus Mankind in a ladder match for the Hardcore Championship. Big Boss Man makes his entrance with Commissioner Shawn Michaels, who's making dick-sucking gestures to the crowd. Which he did a lot. He's did a lot. I also want to point out here, because it's so weird, after Big Boss Man returned to WWF at this time, they started spelling his name differently. I always spelled it Big Boss Man, 3 different words.
Right.
They started at this time, it was Big Boss Man. As if Boss Man was his last
one
name.
Word.
Hi, I'm Mr. Bossman.
Bossman.
But I don't like it. I will always spell it three words. So I don't care how they spelled it in the Attitude Era. When this episode goes up, it's going to be listed as Big Boss Man versus Mankind.
And you can run and tell that.
To who? I don't know. But Mankind is escorted out by members of the Job Squad. Bob Holly, 2 Cold Scorpio, and Dwayne Gill. Before, this isn't Gilbert. This is just Dwayne Gill.
I was like, that kind of looks like... Is that an Like, is that his name, Dwayne Gill? I do not know who this person is.
Dwayne Gill. He was a little jobber. That was the whole idea of the Job Squad. They were jobbers that lost a lot. And Dwayne Gill, like, he's this little tiny guy who looked funny. And then he got the gimmick of Gilbert, where they were just making fun of Goldberg, where he just did Goldberg's gimmick, but he's tiny.
And Goldberg's in WCW.
Yeah. So... And I think at one point, JR, when they were showing like Steve Austin backstage or whatever, and he mentioned something about Goldberg, and I think he called him like the Stone Cold wannabe.
Yeah, he did call him the Stone Cold wannabe. It was so funny because like, okay, one company has a top guy who's bald with the goatee and wears just black trunks, and then the other company now has a bald goatee guy with black trunks. But they were completely different characters. Like, once you actually watch them, you're like, oh, these characters are not alike in any way. Not at all. Did Goldberg even talk?
He did eventually. Okay. I was just watching, because I've been watching through the whole Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, that's right.
Slowly. I watch Nitro, Raw, and then all the pay-per-views in order. And I just got to a part where it was like Goldberg cut his first promo in WCW. He's already world champ this time. And Mean Gene's like, we're going to finally talk to Goldberg. See what he has to say. And it was the shortest promo. He's not good at cutting promos, so like, just keep it short and sweet. He was good
in that The Longest Yard.
Yeah, he was good in that. Everyone was good.
It was a great movie, wasn't it?
Too. Stone Cold was in that.
Oh shit, you're right.
The Great Khali, Kevin Nash.
I want to watch. I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch that. I love that they gave what was it? They were drugging Kevin Nash, so he was like, oh, what were they giving him? Where he was like extra womanly, and he's like, my nipples
estrogen.
Estrogen. They were giving him, they're spiking him with estrogen.
Oh my god.
So he's like, my nipples are very sensitive. All right, so. Shawn Michaels makes the Job Squad leave the ringside area, and then he's jaw-jacking with Mankind so that Boss Man can attack him from behind to start the match. So it's a hardcore ladder match. The weapons are allowed, and Big Boss Man has taken advantage of that by using the nightstick to beat Mankind. Shawn Michaels joins the commentary table, and he's going to grade Mankind's performance tonight.
Dude, this was hilarious to me. I loved this bit so much, and I love the way Shawn's talking throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, so Mankind picks up the ladder and throws it out Boss Man, and Shawn holds up a -2.
Yep.
And like, even King's like, -2. The cameraman is trying to keep up with the action ringside and then falls over. You see the from his point of view, it's just like all of a sudden like the man falls down. Yeah. Then it cuts to another camera. And you see him like getting up off the ground. I was like, oh, that's funny. Poor guy. Mankind suplexes the ladder onto Big Boss Man, and Sean gives it a 1 this time.
Yeah.
That's a Sandman move from ECW. He would always suplex the ladder onto a guy.
I was wondering how many... Because they kind of introduced this match. Like, how long had the Hardcore Championship been a thing at this start? Like in '98.
I think that it's brand new. It's got to be brand new. Because,
that's what I thought.
Because I'm watching through 1998 and I haven't gotten to this episode yet. I'm like a couple months away and they don't have it yet.
Okay, so it's just a recently created title, and so they're really bringing probably like the ECW element.
Yeah, definitely.
Because is Paul Heyman working for WWE?
No, he's still running ECW.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then we bought the last episode we watched was Mr. Perfect smashing up that belt, Hogan's belt, and then we see the Hardcore title in this episode. I'm like, that's got to be the same belt.
You think?
I think so. It's the Winged Eagle that he smashed up.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Unless they just smash multiple titles.
Yeah.
So someone let us know. I don't really feel like looking it up. So someone comment on the YouTube channel if you know if this was the same belt. So Shawn Michaels denies being influenced by Vince McMahon when he's asked by JR. Bullshit. Mankind sets up the ladder and begins to climb, but sees Boss Man getting back into the ring. So he hits Boss Man with a flying clothesline.
Got him.
Instead of reaching for the belt. Mankind has Boss Man sandwiched in the ladder on the mat, and he drops an elbow on him.
Twice.
Michaels is more impressed by that and gives Mankind a 6. Holds up the 6 and is like, all right, I'm going to give him credit. Mankind sets up the ladder over Boss Man's body while he's laying on the mat. Starts to climb it up. But Boss Man jumps to his feet, kicks out the supports in the ladder, and then punches Mankind.
Whoever rigged this ladder, or what is it even rigged? I don't know, but it is lasting because there was one match I'd seen. I don't know if it must have been a show in real life recently where the ladder was just crumbling.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a famous match in PWG where it's a ladder match between Kevin Steen and El Generico. Uh-huh. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And they had 3 ladders, and 2 of them were just mangled by the end of it. They were trying to climb it, and they was just
no climbing
bending, and it's all right. That's why they had 3, because one of them was I think a stronger ladder. They're like, that's the one we'll save.
Yeah.
Don't mess that one up. Don't slam anyone on that one. Because they're like, we have to have one that we can climb at the end.
So as I'm watching this, I'm impressed with this ladder the whole time.
Yeah, they only had 1 ladder for this.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I saw it kind of go sideways a bit, and then okay. Yeah,
I think even the final,
maybe it wasn't really rigged.
Set it up the last time. I think when Boss Man's climbing up, it's wobbling.
Yeah.
It's not.
You can see Rocky push the things down.
Mankind ducks a clothesline and hits a double arm DDT on Boss Man, and I thought that was it because that's one of his finishers. Yeah. So Mankind starts to climb again, and HBK from commentary yells, "Drag that fat butt up the ladder."
He is throwing strays at Boss Man the whole time. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm rooting for him because of his looks and his body or something."
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Mankind reaches for the title, but Boss Man pulls him down, and knocks the ladder over. After slamming Mankind onto the ladder or into the ladder in the corner, it's his turn to climb up for the title. King asks HBK what grade he'd give Boss Man, and Michael says he gives him a 10 and calls him sexy.
Yeah,
because he's like, it's all about his looks. Both men climb up the ladder, and they are slugging it out on opposite sides until Mankind finally reaches into his tights and pulls out Mr. Sacco. He puts it over his hand and grabs Boss Man with the mandible claw and causes Boss Man to fall off the ladder. And he keeps Mr. Sacco in his mouth.
It took everything and I had not to text you while I was watching this and be like, why in the hell is it still in his mouth?
He gets up and he's punching Mankind.
Why is it still in his mouth?
Just pull it out of your mouth.
Does he think it's funny for him to be doing? Yeah, he's
of course. He's like, oh, I'm
he's gonna think that I'm
gonna hand this up for the crowd, or he's just like, I'm trying to pop the boys.
Yeah.
With this, that would be funny. So yeah, Rock runs down, slides into the ring, and pushes the ladder over, taking Mankind with it. The Rock sets the ladder up for Boss Man, and Boss Man stumbles around to the ladder and starts to climb up again. But Mankind is back to his feet and low blows The Rock. The Rock was holding the ladder for him because it's wobbly.
Yeah.
And he pulls Boss Man down off the ladder again. Mankind climbs up and The Rock pulls him back down and hits him with the rock bottom. The Rock sets the ladder up again and tells Boss Man to climb it. This time The Rock continues to stomp out Mankind so that Boss Man is free to finally climb and grab the title to pull it down. Jarrett says, the only thing left in Mick Foley's life has been taken from him. Like, damn, that's sad. HBK goes, oh, he'll get over it.
Yeah.
And then HBK takes his headset off and he gets up from the commentary table. Jarrett says, yeah, well, we've got a real unbiased commissioner here, right? Yeah. Your winner and a new hardcore champion, Big Boss Man, even though he cheated.
You know what? It's a hardcore match, Zerpy. There's no cheating
true.
In a hardcore match.
That's true. The Rock. I just had a comment here that The Rock looks so weird here because he's wearing his trunks with a shirt.
It looks like underwear.
Yeah, and no knee pads, and he's wearing just little shoes instead of boots.
Yeah.
So it just looks so off.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with this man?
It does look funny, and it's like it kind of reminds me of how they're always positioning Hogan to be the hero.
Yeah.
In like the golden era, and it's like. Damn, it's like, hey, you can't do anything on your own, can you? You know, we gotta have The Rock come out here, save it, but at least you brought home the belt.
That's the thing, like, Boss Man's like all over this episode, and so is The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Big Boss Man picks up his nightstick and hits Mankind with it for good measure. And then Shawn Michaels comes in, stomps on Mankind a couple times, and he sells his back because he's got a bad back. That's why he can't wrestle anymore. So each time he stomps, he's like, ooh, my back. So then, and then Big Boss Man hands him the nightstick. He's like, here, try this.
Yeah.
He just starts poking Mankind with it. So they stomp out Mankind in the ring. Meanwhile, The Undertaker is searching the parking garage when Paul Bearer comes up and tells him he's found Kane. And then we go to a commercial break. And when we come back, Undertaker and Kane are brawling inside of a dark room and smashing each other through tables.
For what felt like forever. For some reason when I was watching it.
Undertaker knocks out Kane and Paul gets out a body bag. Undertaker starts putting Kane in the body bag and he tells Paul he'll take care of this, tells Paul to go get the orderlies. So Paul leaves and then Stone Cold sneaks up behind Undertaker and says, get up, you bastard. And he hits Undertaker with a shovel, knocking him out. But Paul Bearer doesn't see any of this. We go back out to the ring and Mark Merrow is already in the ring with the microphone. Mark Merrow, as we know him as Johnny B. Bad.
Johnny B. Bad, baby.
So he's out here with the microphone. Mark Merrow mentions that we are in Dwayne Gill's hometown of Baltimore. And if he can't beat that jobber here tonight, then this is the last you'll see of Mark Merrow.
Another retiree?
Yeah. So match number 4 is going to be Mark Merrow versus Dwayne Gill. So Dwayne Gill makes his entrance with a Little League football team.
I know.
It's very cute.
It's very cute.
And they march around the ring and then they march right back
And then
up.
the whole time the commentary table's like, I don't know if I would bring kids to Monday. Who would bring kids to Monday Night Raw?
In this era, you should. Yeah. Mark Merrow is beating up Dwayne all over the ring and even hits him with TKO, which was his finisher, but he doesn't go for the cover. Instead, he starts mocking the other members of the Job Squad, Bob Holly and Too Cold Scorpio, who are now walking down the ramp towards the ring. Mark Merrow climbs to the top rope, but out of nowhere, the Blue Meanie comes running out and pushes Mark Merrow off the top rope, then runs away. Dwayne Gill covers Merrow, doesn't even do a single move to him, just covers Merrow from this, gets the pin. That's it. Your winner, Dwayne Gill.
Shout out Blue Meanie.
Yeah, Blue Meanie. So this Blue Meanie must be very fresh and new here.
Yeah.
Just off of ECW, fresh from ECW and the Blue World Order. Mark Merrow did wrestle one more match at the Rock Bottom pay-per-view that's coming up in 13 days from this episode. And then he did indeed retire from wrestling, at least in the WWF.
Wow.
He would make appearances in WCW and the short-lived XWF. Then returned to wrestling in TNA before officially retiring from wrestling in 2006.
Cool.
So he was a man of his word here.
Now he's a public speaker.
Yeah. Backstage, we see Paul Bearer getting the orderlies, still unaware that Undertaker has been taken out by Austin. He's like, come with me. We'll get this idiot. Back to the Mark Henry and China date. They are enjoying a bottle of wine at the restaurant. I think Mark Henry is reciting a poem to China, but it's hard to hear because the music is so loud. which leads me to believe that this music was dubbed over the original music that was in the scene, because they do that a lot with these episodes now, because they don't want to pay royalties. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mark makes a toast. The toast is, quote, "to you and me." And Chyna doesn't even clink her glass. She just downs it and then pours another glass. Mark suggests that they go dancing after this. And then we cut back to the arena, and it's time for match number 5, X-Pac versus Ken Shamrock for the European Championship.
So are Chyna and Triple H still together?
No, I think they are split up by this point. That's why they're doing this.
Okay, gotcha. And then that makes sense in the timeline of Stephanie eventually. And
then Eddie Guerrero shows up, and then Eddie and Chyna have their whole...
Okay, gotcha. I was also going to ask if that was before or after this, so... That
would be later. So, Ken Shamrock is accompanied to the ring by Shawn Michaels once again. JR reminds us that Shamrock's Intercontinental title is not on the line, only the European Championship is. Shawn Michaels joins the commentary desk again for this match. Backstage, Vince and his stooges are still trying to butter up the New Age Outlaws to join the corporation. Shamrock nearly makes X-Pac pass out in a guillotine choke. Referee Tim White checks X-Pac's arm. He does the arm check where he lifts it up and drops it. Well, he drops it twice. He goes for the third one, but he stops it and he starts hulking up out of the hold. Spinning heel kick from X-Pac, and he goes for the cover, but only gets a 2 count. X-Pac hits the Bronco Buster on Shamrock, and Shawn Michaels gets up from the desk and grabs referee Tim White, pulls him out of the ring. X-Pac hits the X Factor on Shamrock, goes for the cover, but the referee isn't there. He's outside talking to HBK. This allows Bossman to run down to the ring and clothesline X-Pac. Bossman runs away, and Shamrock locks the ankle lock on X-Pac. But Triple H then shows up. He runs in. We haven't seen Triple H all night. What the hell? This is the only time we see him. He just runs in, and he attacks Shamrock to break the hold and causes the DQ.
Another DQ.
At least the Dwayne Gill match was a fair one. Wait, no, it wasn't fair, but it was. He still got the win. It wasn't a DQ.
Another DQ.
Exactly. Hey, another one. This means that Ken Shamrock wins, but X-Pac retains the title because it's a DQ. Bossman and HBK both get in the ring, but Triple H and X-Pac escape. Bossman is throwing a fit.
A BS.
He does a little thing where he starts like jumping up and down.
I love when he does that.
He does that a lot. Triple H and X-Pac are just spamming crotch chops on the ramp. They're just spamming taunt in the video game.
Oh.
So we cut to the back. Paul Bearer is backstage, bringing the orderlies into the room where he left Undertaker, who was putting Kane in the body bag. Paul checks the bag. Undertaker's not around anymore, but he unzips the bag a little bit, sees Kane's mask, so clearly that's Kane inside.
Yeah.
The orderlies load him onto the stretcher and wheel him away. Paul Bearer says, "Alrighty, put him in that van. Take him to your nut house. Don't let him out. Take him away." And he waves, "Bye, son."
Take him to the nut house.
Don't ever let him go. Back to the date between Mark Henry and Chyna. They're at a bar now. Mark is dancing. He's the only one dancing. No one else at this bar is dancing. Chyna, he tries to get Chyna to join him. She stands up and gets on the dance floor, but just stands there and claps as Mark dances around her. And then she sits back down. Mark tells her that he's going to go powder his nose and he'll be right back. What does that mean?
Oh my God.
3 guys walk into frame, and they are the worst actors I've ever seen. This whole scene is so cheesy.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Oh my! He does. He uses that line.
Austin Powers had just come out.
It is 1998. Yeah. They walk up to Chyna. They try to pick her up. She tells him to get lost. That's when he drops the Austin Powers, "Do I make you horny, baby?" Chyna tells him again to get lost. And then he calls her a bitch. So she stands up and hits him with the right cross and drops him. Mark Henry runs in from nowhere and just takes out the other friend, then tosses the third guy into the bar. Chyna grabs Mark and they head for the door. And that's all we see from them. We don't get
there's no closure.
I know. I want to see their good night. Does he get a kiss?
The kiss.
But it's time for match number 6, Val Venis versus Tiger Ali Singh. Val Venis comes out with the Godfather and his hose. Tiger Ali Singh is already in the ring with his manservant Babu. Val does his whole thing. This, "Hello, ladies. Tiger, how low will America go? Well, let me tell you something right here, right now. Last night, your girlfriend went all the way down." Lacy's choking over here at the line. It got too hot for her.
It's so good.
And Godfather, I'd like you to do a big favor and keep an eye on that little monkey right there. And if he gets out of line, I want you to spank that little monkey. Jerry Lawler is losing it on commentary. He's like, spank the monkey. JR just goes, I got it. Val Venis hits a spine buster, goes for a cover, but only gets a 2 count. At one point, Godfather's hoes are all over Babu ringside. JR just goes, 3 ladies of the evening keeping Babu occupied, and Babu's mind is far, far away from Tiger Ali Singh. Val Venis, look, the ladies
Those
of the
hoes
night.
are always distracting.
Ladies of the evening. I won't call them hoes. That's just disrespectful. Val Venis hits a side Russian leg sweep, and Terry Reynolds and Jacqueline, the Pretty Mean Sisters, PMS, are walking down to the ring. Jacqueline gets in the face of the Godfather at ringside, which also gets Val Venis' attention, which allows Terry to just walk in the ring, walk up behind Val, and hit him with a low blow. The ref calls for the bell, and the match gets thrown out. Another DQ.
Goodness.
So Terry is pissed off because apparently there was a whole storyline where she got pregnant, and it was Val Venis' child, and then Val broke up with her. Just sleazy television. That's all this was.
Yeah. It's a male soap opera.
Yeah. So everyone clears the ring, and the acolytes, Farouk and Bradshaw, come out and start beating the shit out of Tiger Ali Singh and Babu for seemingly no reason. I don't know what their beef is.
Don't you mean the Ass Pounding Association?
This is before the APA. What? They're not even APA yet. I don't even think they're part of the ministry or not yet.
I don't know.
So Bradshaw powerbombs Babu, and they stomp out Tiger. The Jackal is out here with a big smile on his face. I guess he's managing them. This must be short-lived.
Yeah.
And he's got a big smile on his face as Farouk hits the Dominator on Babu. Do you know who the Jackal is? I know you don't follow AEW, but this is Don Callis.
No.
Of the Don Callis family.
Really?
The most dominant team in professional wrestling today. He's the what do they call him? The invisible hand.
The invisible
Don
hand.
Callis. But is Don Callis had hair at this point, so maybe that's why
long, beautiful hair.
Now he has no hair, and he has like a big scar on his forehead that it keeps getting darker every week. He like colors it in.
Okay.
So yeah, outside the building, they have loaded the body bag into the ambulance, and Paul Bearer is waving goodbye as it pulls away. Paul is walking away and just says, "Now where's my dead man?" The shot of this pulls out, and we see Stone Cold and Kane are watching this on a monitor in the dressing room. Oh shit, they're watching.
Does Kane have his mask on still?
He does. So I guess Kane just has extra masks that he keeps with him.
Yeah, I told you the story about when I wanted to meet him, but he wasn't wearing his mask, so I wouldn't even look at him.
I wouldn't look at Glenn Jacobs either.
I didn't want anything to do with him.
Put it back on. Put the mask back on. You're ugly. We come back from commercial break, and Shane McMahon walks out to the stage to a sea of boos from the crowd. Shane goes, "What's up, Baltimore?" What you're about to see is a lesson in humility. A reminder to Sable where she started.
Dude.
All of you remember where Sable started, don't you? She started right here on this stage modeling WWF t-shirts. If it wasn't for the marketing genius of my pops, Mr. McMahon, Sable would be absolutely nowhere. This took Sable's career to superstar status. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the World Wrestling Federation Women's Champion, Sable. Sable's music hits, and she walks out on stage with her women's title and models a bottle of WWF Attitude Cologne.
You know what?
Which you gotta imagine smells like shit.
And I love how he kept saying, "Oh, buy this cologne for men, and for women we have Eau de Toilette." Eau de Toilette.
Which, of course, Jerry Lawler just laughs at that. He's like, toilet.
Yeah, toilet. Toilet.
Shane says, "Now, Sable, if you don't mind, let me steal a line from The Rock and let me smell what you're cooking." Sable sprays some cologne on her wrist, and Shane leans in to smell it, and then he starts creeping up her arm to her chest until Sable just sprays the cologne in his mouth. And Shane just tries to save face and tells everyone that it also makes a delicious breath spray. And they walk away.
Oh my goodness.
And it's time for the main event already. Match number 7, Al Snow versus The Rock. And I guess the title's on the line. They did say it's a big opportunity for Al Snow here tonight. Al Snow comes out with head, and everybody in the crowd is holding foam heads.
Yeah, what do we want?
Head!
What do we need?
Head! And during this time, like, they were really building up Al Snow to be a huge star. He left WWF for a little while. I think he was still technically under contract with them, and they sent him to ECW because they kind of had a working relationship with ECW.
Okay.
On and off. And so he went to ECW, and the first live wrestling event I ever went to was ECW WrestlePalooza 1998, and Al Snow was there at the time, and he was a huge star. He was in the main event.
98.
And, yeah.
At Center Stage?
No, it was actually at the Civic Center, Cobb County Civic Center.
Oh.
So, and I remember everyone in the crowd had the foam heads, and I think it was like all of a sudden everyone had, like, they did not have them the entire night. And I think what I wasn't while I was watching the wrestling, I think before that match they started handing out foam heads to the opposite side of the crowd where they were on hard cam. I was behind the camera, so
gotcha.
They didn't hand us any heads. So I was like, oh man, they just want people on screen to have them.
You would still have it.
I know. I probably would have kept that. But yeah, and then he came back to WWF, and they were kind of giving him a push here. Like, he was still part of the job squad, so he was like a loser, but like they're kind of making him a big star, and he had a lot of fans in the crowd with the heads.
He was over.
Yeah, and then they just gave up on him, I think, and then made him a joke again. So I don't know. So yeah, Al Snow actually starts this match in control. But then commentary points out Al Snow's odd relationship with his mannequin head. JR suggests that perhaps the next person to be taken away in a street tag here tonight is Al Snow.
I guess JR doesn't like head.
So no head. The Rock hits a DDT on Snow and goes to the cover, but only gets a 2 count.
And they keep emphasizing he's only 26 years old.
Who, The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a youngin.
In this match.
What happened? Hollywood. They go outside, and The Rock brings Al Snow over to the commentary table, but it's Al Snow who slams The Rock's head into the table. Al Snow body slams The Rock on the floor, then uses the barricade to hit a moonsault, but Rock moves out of the way.
Oh, I just love a moonsault.
JR says, The Rock said last night on Heat that he enjoyed kissing Mr. McMahon's ample backside. Lawler goes, ample? JR goes, well, might not have said that exactly, but he did admit to kissing rear end. Back in the ring, The Rock ducks a clothesline, and Al Snow accidentally takes out the referee, Earl Hebner. Ref bump. The Rock hits the rock bottom and sets up for the corporate elbow, but changes his mind. He drags Al Snow into the corner out of the way and grabs head and lays head in the middle of the ring and does the corporate elbow on head. Al Snow is back to his feet. The Rock swings at Snow with head, but Al ducks, and he takes head back and hits The Rock with head. Al Snow goes for the cover, but Earl Hebner is still down, unable to count the pin.
No, Earl, no.
And who comes out but Big Boss Man and Ken Shamrock. They come walking down to ringside. This distracts Al Snow, and The Rock hits Al Snow with another rock bottom and goes for the cover. Earl Hebner, now he's on. Okay, he's back up. Crawls over, slowly counts to 3. Your winner, The Rock. So Mankind is now out here trying to stop Shamrock and Big Boss Man. But Boss Man uses the nightstick to choke Mankind while Ken Shamrock kicks him. The Rock joins in the fight. The rest of the Job Squad come running out to join the brawl. Now it's the Corporation versus the Job Squad, all fighting at ringside. The Rock, though, he's too important to be part of this, so he just grabs his WWF Championship, tries to walk away to the back, but Mankind stops him and just starts beating the shit out of him, and they start brawling to the back. Cameras are backstage with Paul Bearer again, who is still looking for the Undertaker. Back in the walk-in freezers, he turns around and finds Stone Cold. Austin tells Paul to check the freezer. He does, only to find Kane waiting in the freezer for Paul. How long was he in there waiting? Here, Kane, just get in there. Don't worry, you're going to be in there. It's going to be nice. You just grab a Steveweiser while you're there. Just wait there for a little while. You can hit yourself up. You got lots of fire, right? So he's probably in there for a long time. So yeah, he finds Kane in there. And Austin finally explains that Undertaker is the one going to the nut house in Kane's mask. Because Kane always brings extras with him.
And they're brothers, so you can barely tell them apart.
Yeah. Well, there was that time where Undertaker disguised himself as Kane and got a title shot.
Yeah.
He's like wrestled the entire match as Kane and wasn't until the end he took his mask off. So back from commercial break and Stone Cold's music hits. The glass shatters and Austin and Kane come dragging Paul Bearer out, kicking and screaming to the ring. Austin gets in the ring, grabs Mike and says, "First off, you dumb bastard, how do you feel knowing that you're the one who sent the Undertaker to the damn crazy house? That was you. How do you feel knowing that The Undertaker can't come down to save your fat ass tonight? Let's go over the events of last week because I watched the tape over and over again and it pisses me off each time I watch it. Well, quit watching it. You took me out and you were going to bury me alive. Oh, burying me wasn't enough. Look at me when I'm talking to you. You were going to embalm me alive. You're a sick bastard, and that's the bottom line. I'm starting to get a little thirsty. Someone give me a damn beer right now. They throw him a beer from ringside. If you want to see Kane beat the living hell out of Paul Bearer, give me a hell yeah. Everyone, of course, gives him a hell yeah. Kane, get him. No. Hold it. That just ain't good enough. You know that thing you do with the gas can all the time? How about you go back there, get that gas can, and we have a little fun right here. No. Hold it. I think I got a better idea. These look familiar to you, son. Austin pulls a pair of scissors out from his back pocket, and Paul Bearer pretends to pass out.
Yeah.
Austin goes, nah, passing out ain't gonna help you one bit, you fat piece of trash. Stone Cold starts cutting up Paul's shirt and tie. Paul is pleading. It was Undertaker. Yeah. It was Undertaker. Please, son, help. Jesus, take me home. That was my favorite. Jesus, take me home. Don't kill me. Austin says, The Undertaker was speaking in tongues last week. I'm going to speak in tongues for you now. I'm about to gut your fat ass. Stone Cold raises the scissors above his head as if he's going to stab them down into Paul Bearer. Paul is covering his eyes. Don't kill me. Austin goes, oh, that'd be too easy, you big dumb bastard. Kane, get his ass up because I got an even better idea. We're going for a little walk. Jarrett goes, yeah. Good thing he's wearing dark pants, I'll tell you that. Paul Bearer is clearly shitting himself here tonight.
Shitting himself actively.
We can smell it right here. Ringside, everyone can smell it. It's really bad. They drag Paul Bearer to the back and then outside to a manhole cover to the sewer. Kane opens up the manhole cover and shoves Paul Bearer headfirst into the sewer, and then they just put the cover back on. Yeah. And all sense of music hits, and they go off the air. That is the funniest ending to a wrestling show I've ever seen.
So
just
good.
Shove this fat man into the ground.
Yeah.
And everyone is standing
people outside.
There's fans, there's like police, I think, and they're just watching this.
Yeah.
Like, what's the end goal here? He's just there.
He's gonna join the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He lives in the sewer now. That's all that.
Yeah,
you are a sewer man. But yeah, but I don't know if you got this on Netflix, but my copy of this episode had extra attitude. So they would do this when they release episodes later. So this is what happened when Raw went off the air. We see what happened in the arena for the fans there.
Very cool.
So Austin walks back into the arena and down to the ring to grab his beer, and he's attacked by The Rock. They fight in the ring until Austin hits The Rock with a stunner and then celebrates, hitting his pose on all four turnbuckles, as he always does, and he drinks his beer. Eventually, The Rock slowly makes his way back up to his feet, only to be hit with another stunner. Stone Cold drinks his beers, poses for the crowd, and then leaves. The Rock gets up, finally, and grabs a mic, and he cuts a promo, reminding Baltimore that he's still leaving here tonight, the WWF champion. Well, Austin didn't like that, so he comes walking right back out and offers The Rock another beer. He's like, you know what? I gave you enough tonight. Gave you a beatdown. Here, have a beer. And then, of course, everyone knows how this goes. They pop open the beer to start drinking it, and then he hits him with another stunner.
Just when you're least expecting it.
Exactly. Never accept a beer from Stone Cold. Then Shane comes out to help The Rock. So Austin comes back out again, and he hits Shane with a stunner. Then he hits The Rock with one more. And then Austin helps Shane up, and he poses with him, gives Shane a hug, and then hits him with another stunner.
And then he's pouring beer over The Rock's head.
Yeah. And finally, that's the end of the episode.
I loved this episode.
Yeah, the Attitude Era was funny. The matches weren't good because they all end in DQ or interruption.
There's
a
lot of drama,
a
lot of peripheral drama.
There was this era was not about the wrestling product. It was about everything else around it. Like what I love about AEW now, why I watch that is because there is a lot of storytelling, but when they actually wrestle, it's a work rate match. It's actually really good wrestling. You're like, wow, I'm really having fun watching the matches as well.
Right.
But yeah, this time they did not give a shit about the in-ring product. It's like, whatever, it's just a means to the end. Just go out there, do something. Yeah. And then we're going to further the storyline by someone interfering.
I think this is the most DQs or non-finishes that we had in an episode.
I think so. Yeah, probably. Because, yeah, I think the only, like, legitimate finish was the Dwayne Gill match. But that also involved interference. The ref just didn't see it.
Oh.
Blue Meanie just ran in.
Blue Meanie! Maybe
after that, that's Mark Marrow's WWF career ends with a move wasn't done to him. He just got pinned off of being pushed off of a turnbuckle. That's it. It's so stupid.
So we got wrestling coming up next month, December 10th, the AEW show.
Is that happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
Oh, you haven't confirmed with me, so I didn't know. But hey, we're gonna go.
So yeah, drop us a comment if you're gonna be going to AEW Atlanta, December 10th.
Yeah, for Dynamite. And then you'll see Don Callis there. The channel. But yeah, that's going to be exciting. Can't wait for that. Obviously, every time AEW is in town, they put on a great show. Yep. And I'm hoping that I can actually see Kenny Omega wrestle this time. Because every time I've been to an AEW event, either Kenny is not there or he's there and he doesn't wrestle.
I'm excited we don't have to drive all the way out to Gas South Arena.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm glad they changed to the Gateway Center.
Awesome.
Yeah. So excited for that. I'm glad that people have been commenting finally on the YouTube channel where we upload the audio to the podcast each time we have a new episode out. Yeah. So keep doing that. We love reading your comments and everything. So
and welcome to our new listeners. We hope you guys enjoy the episodes.
Yeah, it turns out it actually helps when we make posts on Instagram.
And hey, no men have asked me for money in 2 weeks.
Oh, that you uploaded that clip. So good. People, don't ask Lacy for money. That's weird. But yeah, you can always check us out on Instagram at
at the BubbaCast.
At the BubbaCast, thank you. And then also check out the Big Boss Man Legacy account.
Yep, that's Big Boss Man WWE.
And Lacy runs that account, and you can check me out on Instagram at Zerpy_MD, where I do my action figure photography. And I think I might do a piece for this episode when it goes up. I'll do a little Mankind versus Boss Man in a ladder match for the hardcore title. I shot for that, so look out for that. That'll be the photo that I'll put up for this episode.
Hell yeah, Bubba.
So yeah, thank you, and always in the comments, let us know what you want to see. If there's a specific show that Big Boss Man or Big Bubba wrestled on, let us know, because we're always looking for new ideas. But that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Goodbye.